CBS Young and the Restless Spoilers Recap Preview, Thurdays, August 27. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel on this beautiful, sunny Thursday. I hope you all have a massive cup of coffee ready because today we have so much to unpack, and honestly, I am still processing everything that just happened. Let's just jump right into the absolute chaos that is unfolding in Genoa City today. So let's just start with the absolute biggest, most scandalous, jaw-dropping moment of the week, maybe even the month. Victoria Newman and Kyle Abbott. Yes, you heard me right. Victoria and Kyle. And they didn't just have a nice little chat by the coffee machine at Jabot. They kissed. A passionate, full-on, logic-defying kiss right there in the office. And honestly, I am still trying to pick my jaw up off the floor because what on earth were the writers thinking? But also, I kind of love it. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on the concept, but you get what I mean. We have all seen this simmering for weeks, maybe even months, ever since Kyle was dating Claire. We saw those little looks, the lingering glances, the weirdly intense conversations where Kyle would complain about Victor and Victoria would defend her dad, and there was a spark, a really weird, inappropriate spark, but a spark nonetheless. And now it has completely exploded. The spoilers for Thursday, August 27, finally bring all that simmering tension to the surface. It happens at Jabot, of course, because nobody in Genoa City actually does any real work at their corporate offices. They just use them for dramatic confrontations and illicit hookups. Victoria and Kyle meet up to discuss their quote-unquote business rivalry. Victoria had just proposed rebooting Audra's old Vibrante idea, which, let's be real, was a terrible idea to begin with, and Kyle immediately vetoed it. He shot it down. But did he shoot it down because it was a bad business move? Or did he shoot it down just to get under Victoria's skin and create some friction? Because we all know that in soap opera land, business friction is just foreplay. So they are arguing, they are planning their next moves, and the tension is just so thick you could cut it with a knife. And then they just let their emotions completely override their logic. They cross the line, they kiss, and it is a passionate kiss. It is not just a little peck. They are fully risking everything. But let's just zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here, because the family tree implications of this are absolutely disgusting and hilarious at the same time. Let's really break this down. Kyle was married to Summer. Summer is Nick Newman's daughter. Nick is Victoria's brother. So Kyle is Victoria's former nephew-in-law. And if that is not messy enough for you, Kyle was literally just dating Claire. Claire Grace Newman, Victoria's long-lost daughter, who just went through massive psychological trauma and is finally getting settled into a normal life. Kyle was Claire's first real boyfriend, and now Victoria is making out with him. What kind of mother does that? What kind of guy does that? The fans on social media are losing their minds over this, and honestly, I am right there with them. It is so clunky in places, the way they just threw them together, but it is undeniably soapy. And what about Claire? Claire was already not thrilled about the idea of Victoria and Kyle working together on this Vibrante reboot. She was visibly uncomfortable, but she probably thought it was just business awkwardness. She has no idea that her mother is swapping spit with her ex-boyfriend. How long can Kyle and Victoria possibly deny this attraction? Not long. They are going to get caught. Someone is going to walk into that Jabot office. Maybe Diane? Oh my gosh. Diane Jenkins Abbott would absolutely spontaneously combust if she saw her precious son kissing Victor Newman's daughter. Diane is already paranoid and digging too deep into everything since the whole Dr. Markham kidnapping nightmare. If she finds out about this, she will use it to destroy Victoria. And Victor will have a literal heart attack. He already hates the Abbotts. He already hated Kyle being near Claire. If he finds out Kyle is sleeping with Victoria, he will launch a full-scale corporate and personal war. It is going to be a massive scandal in Genoa City, and I am here for every single messy second of it. But moving on from that absolute train wreck, let's talk about another train wreck. Billy Abbott. Oh, Billy, 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 what are we going to do with you? So last week, or maybe a few episodes ago, Billy crashed Lily and Kane's little celebration to drop this massive bombshell that he thinks the Abbotts technically own Chancellor Industries because of some decades-old unpaid loan from John Abbott to Philip Chancellor. He has been walking around town like he is the king of the world, acting so smug, so arrogant, so utterly delusional. He actually thinks he can just waltz in and take over a company that Lily has shed blood, sweat, and tears to build, and Lily is just not having it. Thank goodness for Lily Winters. In Thursday's episode, Lily calls Billy out. She completely takes him down a notch, and it is glorious to watch. Lily has dated Billy. She knows him intimately. She broke up with him for a reason. She knows that he is, at his core, a loser when it comes to business. And I know that sounds dramatic, but you guys know it's true. How many times has Billy screwed up? How many times has he gambled away a company, or made a reckless decision, or started a podcast to complain about his feelings while his corporate empire burned? He is the definition of a sore loser. When Billy doesn't get his way, he pouts. He stomps his feet. He blames Victor. He blames Jack. He blames the universe. He never, ever looks in the mirror. So Lily stands her ground. She demands that Billy provide actual, concrete proof that he is the right choice to lead Chancellor. She tells him straight to his face that his enthusiasm is not enough. She brings up his history of mistakes. She demands to know how he is going to protect the legacy of Catherine Chancellor and John Abbott when all he has ever done is cause chaos. Lily is fierce. She is wearing her power suit, her arms across, and she is just shutting him down. But honestly, who actually believes this is going to end well? Billy is obsessed. He is like a dog with a bone. He is not going to listen to Lily's logic. He is just going to get more desperate and more reckless. And let's talk about the ripple effects of this Chancellor War. Jack Abbott is caught right in the middle. A few days ago, Lily went to Jack and offered to just pay off the old John Abbott loan with interest, completely wiping the slate clean so Billy has no legal leg to stand on. It is a brilliant move by Lily. But Jack is hesitating. Jack is sitting there in his mansion, wringing his hands, looking stressed out, debating what to do. He knows that if he takes Lily's deal, Billy will view it as the ultimate betrayal. Billy will cut Jack out of his life forever. But let's be real. Jack should just forget about Billy. Honestly, some people are just not worth the energy. Jack has spent years, decades even, supporting Billy, bailing him out of jail, covering up his gambling debts, protecting him from Victor, and what does Billy do? He lies, he schemes, and he turns his back on Jack the second it suits him. Jack should just kick him to the curb and move on with his life. Take Lily's money, Jack. Save Jabot. But of course, we know Jack won't do that because this is a soap opera, and it is Jack's contractual obligation to make the absolute worst possible decisions when it comes to his brother. And while Billy is getting shut down by Lily, his enemies are gathering. This brings us to the GCAC, where Adam Newman and Kane Ashby are having a little Bash Billy session. Kane is furious about Billy trying to steal Chancellor from Lily. Kane even offered his bone marrow to save Malcolm just to get back in Lily's good graces, and now Billy is threatening everything. So Kane goes to Adam, and Adam, who is currently running Newman Media and looking for a juicy story, is more than happy to help destroy his old rival. Adam and Kane are sitting there, drinking, plotting, talking about how much Billy sucks. It is actually kind of a fun dynamic. I wouldn't mind seeing more of Adam and Kane scheming together, but then their little plotting session is completely derailed. Who comes bursting through the doors of the GCAC like a hurricane? Phyllis Summers. Of course it's Phyllis, and she is frantic. She is practically hyperventilating. Why? Because Matt Clark is missing. Okay, let's take a deep breath and talk about Matt Clark and Phyllis. This storyline is so wild. Matt Clark is a psychopath. He is a dangerous, violent criminal who kidnapped people, terrorized the Newmans, and literally caused Nick Newman to relapse on fentanyl. And what did Phyllis do? She gave him a job. She hired him, and not only that, but they hit the sheets. Phyllis slept with the guy who tried to destroy her daughter's father. It is so twisted, but Phyllis is desperate for redemption or power, or maybe she just makes terrible choices in men, probably all of the above. Anyway, Matt has suddenly vanished without a trace. His phone is going straight to voicemail, and Phyllis, being Phyllis, immediately jumps to the most paranoid, extreme conclusion. She thinks the Newmans did it. She thinks Victor or Adam had Matt kidnapped or killed to get him out of the way. So she storms into the GCAC, sees Adam, and starts demanding answers. She is screaming at Adam, asking what his family did to Matt, where they are holding him, all of that. And Adam just looks at her like she has three heads. Adam smugly denies knowing anything about it. He tells her he has no idea where her little psycho boyfriend is. But Adam is smart. While Phyllis is ranting and raving, Adam is probably wondering why the hell Phyllis cares so much. Most of the Newman family is entirely focused on Nick right now. Nick is back in rehab doing jigsaw puzzles with some random woman named Marie Kirkland, trying to put his life back together. Victor is visiting Nick in rehab, making vague promises about handling Matt. So maybe Victor did do something to Matt. It wouldn't be the first time Victor locked someone in a basement. But Adam has to look at Phyllis and wonder what her angle is. Why is she so attached to this lunatic? I am sure Phyllis has some excuse prepared, some reason that makes her sound completely innocent and pure. But we all know she is lying. Phyllis always has an angle. Maybe she was going to use Matt to get back at Victor for that whole AI evidence blackmail thing from a few months ago. Remember that? When Victor forced her to sign over her company? Phyllis never forgets a grudge. So we have Phyllis spiraling out of control, Adam and Kane plotting against Billy, Billy throwing a tantrum because Lily won't hand over a multi-billion-dollar company, Jack agonizing over a loan, and Kyle and Victoria making out in the Jabot executive suite. It is so much. I feel like I need a nap after just typing all of this out. The pacing of the show right now is just so chaotic, but in a way that keeps you glued to the screen. You have these massive corporate wars blending with these deeply uncomfortable personal betrayals. I mean, Victoria and Kyle, I still can't get over it. I really can't. I keep second guessing myself. Like, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe they have chemistry? No. It is bad. It is so bad. But I am going to watch every single second of it. And what is going to happen when Claire finds out? That poor girl, she just got out of the psych ward. She just found out she is a Newman. She gets a cute boyfriend, and then her mom steals him. That is some next level trauma. The writers are really putting Claire through the ringer. And Diane is going to lose her absolute mind. She already thinks everyone is out to get her. When she sees her son wrapped up with Victor's daughter, she might actually commit a crime. It just feels like every single character in Genoa City is currently making the worst possible choice they could make. And as a viewer, it is incredibly frustrating, but also highly entertaining. You just want to reach through the screen and shake him, shake Billy, and tell him to get a real job. Shake Jack and tell him to cut the cord. Shake Victoria and tell her to date someone her own age who hasn't slept with her niece and her daughter. But they never listen. They just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And we keep watching. So that is where we are at for Thursday, August 27. It is a messy, clunky, dramatic, soap-tastic episode. I am going to be live tweeting the whole thing, so make sure you follow me over there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Kyle and Victoria kiss. Are you here for it? Are you grossed out? Do you think Claire is going to snap? And what do you think happened to Matt Clark? Did Victor bury him under the ranch? Let's discuss. I need to know. I am not the only one losing my mind over this show today. All right, I'm going to go get more coffee. See you guys next time.